So now we just wait to see how long it takes to see a screen, and we'll get the show on the road. So tickety tack, tickety tack, tickety tack, tickety tack. 20. Let's see, as long as it's not like a minute and a half like it was last week. Let's see, there's 30 seconds. Still waiting. Here comes the screen. Here we are. All right. What do you know? It's Saturday night and we're here. Cool. All right. Healthy Disrespect says 5x5. HJS says 5x5. Trucker Hershey being smartass. Harbor Prepper. Janelle checks to mix. Fastball Motimer. Marie 54. Okay, now we just get too fast. Happy Saturday, gang. Okay, hope everybody's had a good few days here, getting a few things done. We actually got a little bit of rain here today, which was very welcome. So it's been crazy. I was out yesterday in one of the gardens. My black beans, I cannot believe how fast stuff's coming in this year. I'm already picking dried black beans off my plants here. Pulled about half a 5-gallon bucket worth of beans yesterday. So that's a good start. They're loaded out there with more on there. So I will be picking beans for, the rest of the summer, which is fine. I just let them dry and then shell them and put them in a mason jar, and I got plenty of beans. So, yes, I saw somebody said, they get a 50-pound bag of pinto beans for $34. Cool. Okay. I'm getting black beans for nothing. Just garden space and some work. Every penny I save on that is something I can put toward something else I need. So that was it. Took my AR to the armorer yesterday and putting a binary trigger on that one. Love the binary trigger on my Scorpion. That was fun when I can get a lot of lead downrange if I need to. That's the way to do it. So that got set up. This afternoon, we had a nice time. We decided, Mrs. P and I got invited over to friend's house, actually guys from my bowling team, and we all got together. You guys in South Carolina, Georgia will know this, for a low country boil. So it was shrimp and crawfish and crab legs and corn and potatoes and onions and delicious. So we had a good time hanging out for about 6 hours or so. Mrs. P and I got home probably 7:30 or so. And so here we are. Haven't paid a whole lot of attention to what's going on in the world. Saw a couple of things. Obviously, Trump, I've seen numbers on Trump's Grand Rapids rally, anywhere between 12,000 and 20,000. They filled the hockey stadium up there, which is still funny because Trump can pull that in Michigan and Biden couldn't pull 600. But yeah, we're supposed to believe he got 81 million votes, right? Got it. Rumors coming out late this evening that Kimberly Cheadle is going to resign on Monday. She is the director of the Secret Service. We'll see if they're rumors or if there's any truth to it. Still waiting on the death watch for the Biden campaign. See if they drop out tomorrow as expected. Biden's still saying he's not going to. We'll see what happens. The party may have something else to say at the convention because it sounds like they're already releasing delegates from their requirements to do what the people say. I mean, it's one of these things I get a kick out of. For months, we have heard Trump is a threat to democracy, right? I mean, we've heard this over and over and over again. Yet, here we have a candidate in Joe Biden who got supposedly 14 or 15 million votes in the primary. But because an 84-year-old woman, Nancy Pelosi, is worried about an 82-year-old man's age to serve, it's kind of strange. They're going to throw those 14 or 15 million votes out and say, don't worry, we'll just pick somebody. And I guess the Hill, one of these liberal rags out of Washington, D.C., had a piece out today saying Hillary Clinton is probably the best choice. Can you see that if we go through Trump, Hillary 2, hey, then maybe she could be the first president to or first candidate to lose 3 or is it 4 times? I don't know. I still think she's a very good possibility, but who knows what happens? Who knows if we have an election at all? That's the thing. So, but yeah, so it was relatively a quiet day today, which is fine. I like quiet days sometimes, have a chance to have a real life, not worry about all the stupidity all the time and trying to pay attention to it. I know a lot of you guys saw the video I put up this morning about the listeria deal. That's important. Saw something else yesterday or this afternoon. There's a rice recall. It's nothing huge. It's some wild rice by some particular I've never heard of company. It's not like white rice. First off, it shouldn't be in any prepper staple because pantry, because the stuff we need to store is white rice because that's what stores. The brown rices and all these other rices there's too much oil content in them, they go rancid, so that shouldn't affect us. But it's just kind of funny how many recalls of food we're seeing over and over and over again. And it just begs the question, what is the FDA doing? Are they so lax in approving things that companies just go, you know what? So what if we don't clean out the vat today? We'll just do it tomorrow. I don't know, but it's just another one of these going, why are we seeing so many problems in the food supply? And then draw your own conclusions from there. So, all right. So let's get an early start tonight into Q&A. Hopefully the picture stays good tonight and they don't pixelate everything, but so far it looks like it's perfectly clear, so that's a good thing. So we'll do the Q&A as per normal. If you've got questions for me, please put them in all caps. This makes it easier for me to find them. And the only thing, as usual, that we require around here is that you treat each other civilly in here, that no name calling or just saying anything stupid that'll get the channel in trouble, get you in trouble, or is just flat out rude. Okay, so, all right, so let's go up to the top and see what we got. And there's Storm Chasing Gal. Did I see the church burning in Dallas? The pastor supports Trump. Massive explosion and huge fire. Yeah, it's Robert Jeffrey's church. You've seen him many times at Trump rallies and stuff like that. There was an explosion. You can suspect that it was arson. You can suspect that it was a gas leak. I don't know. With everything that's going on right now, I tip a little bit more to the man-made cause than the accident cause. John Fortwegler. Hey, John and Delilah, say hi, Pinball. Haven't heard from Delilah in a long time. Welcome back, both of you. Let's see. I keep seeing this thing buffering again. Mountaineer Mama, Pinball. Yesterday, my local news told about the listeria. I looked after today's video and it's gone. That's interesting because I looked this morning and there was nothing on CNN, nothing on Fox. I told you what was there. I did a Google search to see what was up. I saw 3 videos out of Canada, news channels there about the listeria in the milk up there, but I saw nothing, not Fox, not CNN, not a Google search, nothing whatsoever in regards to the 28 states, other than what I saw from Mrs. P finding it in Russian news, going to the CDC link, and then I saw the story. So, it's just interesting how stuff is not told to us. Kia Chris, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Uh, you can look on, let's just use Fox, for example. You can find a dozen stories on the assassination attempt, a few stories on the candidates. Of course, we've got to have stories on, you know, some has-been celebrities, a couple of things on the Olympics. It's like, yeah, you know what? If there's something going around with food killing people, that might be at least worth a story on the homepage of your channel somewhere. I don't know, but that's why it's important to look around, listen. I give you guys as much as I can find, and God knows I don't see everything. Okay. And none of us are sitting in front of the computer all day trying to find news stories. It's like, okay, if you trip across one, share it. Da, 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 Silvergram, Alex Jones said today they're going to run Hillary Clinton. Like I said, I mean, that's very possible. And what did I say before? I mean, the only people that are going to consider running in this election are the ones who have no political future. Hillary fits that bill. Okay. Maybe she can come in. Maybe she'd poll better than Biden. I doubt it. Okay. Pretty much everybody figures her policies are going to be the same, if not worse than Joe's. You got to, Hillary's pretty much the most despised woman in America. Joy Reid or Whoopi Goldberg are close, but Hillary is head and shoulders above everybody for that. What do they have to lose? They got to run somebody, so it's just a disruption. That's all they're going to do at this point. Von Mousetrap, Mr. P, please explain what it means to release delegates. Okay, so and I'll go back to the primaries first, and it's different for the Democrats and the Republicans. They use their own set of rules. Like Democrats have super delegates, which are the party elite, the people that they can use to change the outcome if they want. And a lot of that goes back to, I don't remember if it was 70, it was either 76 or 80, one of the two, where Jimmy Carter and Ted Kennedy were running neck and neck, and they didn't know who was going to be the nominee, and so they brought in this super delegate thing so they could that the party could direct the decisions the way they wanted to, not leave it up to the people. So releasing delegates. Let's use the Republican one first. We had the primaries. Primarily, it was Nikki Haley versus Donald Trump. The other people got a few. Who cares? Okay, we'll just talk. Nikki Haley only got like 93 or something anyway. But those people, the 93 delegates that she won, those people were committed to casting their vote at the convention for Nikki Haley. Until a candidate drops out, and then a candidate can release their delegates. In other words, you are no longer obligated to cast them for me. I would prefer you cast them for so-and-so. That's what Nikki Haley did with Donald Trump, says I'm releasing all my delegates. You're now free to vote for whoever you want. I'm suggesting you vote for whomever. Okay. Tristan, thank you for the super chat for the food drive. Appreciate that. Let's get back to where we were. Okay. So now on the Democrat side, well, they do it a little bit different. There's no requirement in the DNC for the electors to vote the way the people want it. So, and this is hypothetical. All right. So let's say that during the primaries this year that nobody was allowed to run against Joe. Okay. Let's say North Carolina, for example, put all the people of North Carolina, the Democrats, want to run Joe Biden. There's nothing in the DNC rules that says all the North Carolina delegates can come up and say, well, we don't care what the people say. We're voting for Bernie Sanders. This is it. When you talk about a party that wants to destroy democracy, the Democrat Party, their rules state that they don't have to listen to what the people want. The rules of the party aren't democratic. So now what you've got is all these electors, the whole electorate, that is not obligated to vote for Joe. So if Joe doesn't secure the nomination because a bunch of electors say, you know what, we want to vote for Gavin Newsom or Gretchen Whitmer or Kamala Harris. I don't care that the people of the state wanted Joe. I don't think I can do that, so I'm going to vote for somebody else. That's the way the DNC works. They can do that. Now, so they'll do a first ballot with all the electors, with all the delegates. If nobody gets a majority on the first ballot, on the second ballot, now the superdelegates are allowed to vote, and that's the deep state, the elites, and they can all come in and say, you know what, we just want to make it Gretchen Whitmer or whoever. Okay. So the party platform, the party rules do not require the Democrat Party, to listen to the people at all. The party itself gets to pick who their nominee is. And then you are just expected as a good little sheep to vote for whoever they say that the candidate is. G-Long, 81 million. Is that how many illegals we have? Sure seems to be getting that way, doesn't it? I was saying yesterday, or maybe it was Thursday, Trump needs to get 100 million votes in November to make it impossible to steal. I mean, and I think it's very possible he could, because the independents are turning toward him. There's some Democrats that are turning toward him. Trump's tripled his standing with the black vote. He's doubled his standing with the Hispanic vote. I mean, it should be a lot, but every single person, there can't be anybody out there that goes, you know what, I don't care. Trump's going to win Wyoming. I'm just going to take the day off. No, you need to go vote, because they're going to try to cheat any way they can. It's the only thing they've got at this point. I mean, you hear, and this pisses me off as far as everybody, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, yada, yada. Oh, and J.D. Vance didn't talk about, and Trump didn't talk about Agenda 2025. There's a reason they didn't talk about Agenda 2025. It's not the Trump platform, okay? Agenda 2025 was written by the Heritage Foundation, which is a bunch of never Trumpers who this is what they want. Trump's Agenda 47 is the platform. Yet the Democrats keep on talking about this Agenda 2025 crap, which they've completely misconstrued even what's in that. And they're trying to pin that on Trump, even though it's not his platform. But you've got enough sheep out there who believe it. And then when they believe the Democrat Mark Elias type summary of it, which is complete crap, and they go, okay, this is what Trump believes. No, it isn't. And this is what it says. No, it doesn't. So that's the problem that you get with it is the entire house of cards for the Democrats is built on lies. Because if they told the truth, nobody'd ever vote for them. Susan M., am I wearing my Brian Johnson hat in honor of Trump's entrance on Thursday? Thought he might be rocking when he came in. Yeah, I did like the Back in Black entry, song entry that one night. But no, I'm just wearing it because I didn't feel like wearing the fedora tonight. So this one was a little more comfortable. Kathleen Maddox, did I see the Democrats outside the White House chanting, "Thank you, Joe, it's time to go"? Yeah, I said, I mean, it's funny. There were more people outside, seriously, again, there were more people outside the White House chanting, "Thank you, Joe, it's time to go," than there were in his Michigan rally earlier this week. Just saying. There's more Democrats that want him to leave than want him to stay. How about that? Heather Bray, if this past week hasn't shown you that something is coming, I don't know what will. Maybe a slap in the face. Yeah. I mean, in the last 7 days, I mean, we've seen Trump get shot, and then every day after that, making a public appearance to the point of giving an hour and a half long acceptance speech Thursday night. And at the same time, we have his opponent, the current resident of the White House, getting COVID after having 3 shots and 6 boosters, getting COVID. And oh my God, I've got to go hide in the basement. Okay. And I'm sorry, but the COVID excuse, first off, when's the last time you heard anybody get COVID? Okay. I mean, not that it's disappeared from the face of the earth, but it certainly doesn't seem to be prevalent anymore. Then the funny part is, after announcing he had COVID, Biden did absolutely nothing. He didn't wear a mask. He didn't social distance. He didn't not touch other people. He just went on along. I don't buy for a second he's got COVID. But then again, I don't trust anything at all this administration says. Everything they say is a lie. I think there's so much pressure on him right now and no money that the reason they hold him up in the basement is they can't afford to go do a rally or something because they're embarrassed about nobody showing up and they can't spend what little money they have. Vinny Brady, hi Pinball, would you please say hi to my darling wife, Lady Brady, as we are happily married 9 years on Wednesday past. Well, Miss Brady and Mr. Brady, congratulations on 9 years. May you have 51 more, just like it. Paprika Pauline, if Joe goes, can Hillary step in as VP to Harris? Absolutely. And I've bandied that out as a very good possibility that's exactly how it goes, again, because they both are, political death. They have no future. And they go, okay, if we can win, I mean, first off, there ain't no way in the world Hillary's taking orders from Kamala. Okay. So Kamala be president, Hillary'd be the one running the country, telling Kamala what to do, and Kamala'd be the next sock puppet. That's all it would be. North Alabama hiking. After watching the RNC, are you now officially a Hulkamaniac? I was never a wrestling fan. I mean, I know who Hulk Hogan was. I mean, everybody does. You remember him playing, was it Thunder Lips and was it Rocky 3? I think it was. Maybe it was, I think it was Rocky 3. Yeah, I mean, Hulk Hogan's been a personality for 40 years. And, he's always been fun to watch. He was fun to watch at the convention, just, doing what he does. He's a showman. Uh, it's Kid Rock put on a good show. Not my kind of music, but he still did what he did. Okay, hey, more power to him. I didn't all of a sudden become a Kid Rock fan. No, but hey, as long as they're on the right side of history, that's okay with me. Von Mousetrap, don't worry, Mr. P. If Hillary runs, they'll dig up the dead to vote. They'll make sure she wins this time. And yes, it would be the fourth time. You think the country was FUBAR if Joe got reelected? I mean, we're toast if Hillary got anywhere near the White House. I don't care, president, vice president, whatever. You know, it, there's a lot of, I don't want Karl Rove anywhere around the White House. I don't want Nikki Haley anywhere around government at all. Hillary Clinton, I don't want her on Mars. That's too close to me. You know, Sheila Jackson Lee died today. Trust me, I'm not going to shed a tear. I will throw a party when Hillary dies. I mean, I can't. I will do the biggest rain dance, do a jig, be so happy like 80 million other people in this country that waste of a human being is finally gone. All right. Simpler Times Homestead. Our hydrangeas are dying, starting from the back of the plant, progressing to the front as the leaves are turning brown, but still following. What can I do? Ooh. Well, you shouldn't have a pH issue with hydrangeas because they can do acidic or alkaline soil. Are, I again, not knowing, and I'm not great with flowers and stuff like that either. I'm just trying to think of what would cause something like this. Are they up against a house? Are they at like the base of your house? That might be why they're dying from the back. I don't know. Too much sun reflecting off of the house onto the plant that's burning them. That's my guess, is they're getting burned somehow, not enough water. But again, without being there, I can't really even venture too much of a guess. Holly H, my giant Marconi peppers are prolific, but not giant at all. What do I need to do to get them to big size? Wait. They will keep growing. You can pick them when they're 3 inches. Leave them on the vine for another few weeks. They'll get to be 6, 7 inches. I know when I grew them last year, I didn't grow them this year. When I grew them last year, you go out and you pick your peppers. And I usually pick them when they're around 4 inches or so. But I'd miss one or two, and you go in there, and all of a sudden, here's this pepper that's 7 or 8 inches long because it was inside the plant. I didn't see it. The green of those peppers is the exact same green as the leaves, so they're hard to see. And then you find this monster one in the middle. So just keep watering them. They love the heat. They're peppers, so they're good there. And just wait. They'll keep growing. Just shut to the bottom, so I gotta find where it was. All right, Janet West. Do I think Kamala would pick Gavin Newsom as VP? No, for a couple of reasons. First off, she'd be overshadowed by him. Second off, I don't think Gavin Newsom has any interest in being VP. Third, they're both from California, so that causes an issue too. Scott McHugh, Biden has COVID, but he was on the beach today with people around him. What a joke. Yeah. That's what I said. I don't buy for a second he's got COVID. I just think they don't have any money. And that was the excuse to say why he's not going to be anywhere for a week. Margaret Pritchett, Pinball, what do I use for a large tiller? I am now using one. I've got a front till. Oh, off the top of my head, I can't think of what brand it is, that I bought used. It works well. If I have to buy a tiller again, if this one ever craps on me, I would absolutely buy a rear tine tiller. I would just say that right now. Uh, they're, they're a lot easier to control. And as I get older, and going through the soil and stuff like that, I get beat up with that thing. So if you got to buy a new one, I'd be looking for a rear tiller, one that's got the wheels in the front and the tiller itself in the back. It's a lot easier to control, and I mean, they're more expensive. Maybe you can find a used one or something, but I'd spend the extra money on the rear tine tiller. Tommy Thunder, thanks for sharing that food information. I dumped out a brand new almond milk I had and shared your video with multiple people. Good. I mean, the $6 or whatever the almond milk cost you was a hell of a lot less money than the hospital bill you'd be, or the funeral expenses, put it that way. April Carey, hi Pinball. The hurricane knocked off my cantaloupe and it's only half size. Can I eat it? It's not going to be ripe, and it's not going to ripen. So, yeah, I mean, unless it's soft and orange. If you've ever tried to eat cantaloupe, even that's almost ripe, it just doesn't taste any good. Tell more, Mr. P. Was the CrowdStrike glitch a test run to shut us down for an extended period of time? I 60-40, I will say yes. Let's put it that way. The ownership of CrowdStrike is suspect. The ties to the World Economic Forum, the fact that Klaus Schwab has even come in and said, if Donald Trump wins, globalism is over. Yeah, they're going to do whatever they can to disrupt this. And, miraculously, we're finding all these ballot machines, or polling places are connected to the internet that weren't supposed to be, and you wonder, all these early votes that are going in, how many of those have already been, that's a vote for Trump? Gone. That's a vote for Biden? Save that one. That's a vote for Trump? Flip that one. Okay, we'll save it over for Biden. I don't trust the FEC at all. And a lot of these states, I don't trust to run fair elections. James Farmer, how do you keep rat and mice out of the car truck engine when you park it for some time? This is going to sound really silly, but it absolutely works. Get peppermint spray. You can buy it on Amazon. It's about $8 a bottle. Okay. Peppermint oil. And just spray that in your engine compartment. It'll keep them away. Now, you drive the thing, it rains, you're going to splash water up there, you're going to need to reapply it, okay? But if you're going to park the truck, park the car for anything, spray down the whole engine compartment with peppermint oil, you're golden. Learn that because mice ate the wires to my fuel injectors in my last truck twice, and I had to get those replaced, and I asked the mechanic what to do, and he's like, get peppermint oil. And I got some and I sprayed it on the truck. I don't have the problem. So obviously it's either all the mice are gone or it works. Yep, okay, we've talked about those. Just smile. Pinball, if Biden resigns, what happens to the money he raised? Okay, that's where it gets interesting. Because it is the Biden-Harris ticket, Kamala Harris can have all that money, okay, to use to campaign on whatever. If she is not the head of the ticket, then the money all gets returned to the donors. And then, of course, then the donors can go, okay, now I'm going to send my money to whoever the new candidate is. That's fine. But it's not like they can come up and say, well, Hillary's going to be the new candidate, and Hillary automatically gets all this money. No, she can't have any of it. Okay, she's got to earn that herself, and that's where it gets interesting because, you figure there's 2 weeks left in July. So we got 3.5 months till the election. That's a real short window to put together a campaign, raise the money, and do it. It's going to have to be, if they change candidates, it's going to have to be somebody who's got very good name recognition, which is where I think Hillary comes in. And but I got to think it's got to be Kamala Harris. Joe supposedly is not going to endorse her. Again, these are stories that were coming out yesterday. Like anybody gives a shit what Joe Biden thinks. If we're kicking you out, we really don't care that you want her or don't want her. So, Ham Fox, do you think they would abandon Kamala and leave almost $300 million on the table? Only Ho or Kamala have access to it. Right, exactly. I mean, that's what we just talked about. Never stretching Gretchen. There you go. Carolyn Robbins, thank you for posting my bug spray recipe. It works great. Good. Yes. I mean, the stuff that I show you is the stuff that I do myself. So. New Jersey Prepper in the house. Mary Jane, does basmati and jasmine rice store as good as regular white rice? Not anywhere close. Like I said earlier, both of them have oils in them, and they will go rancid relatively quickly. White rice does not. That's why white rice has a long shelf life. You should not be trying to store any kind of rice other than whites. Coyotes Galore. That's a good name. Pinball, can you use a Berkey water filter system to filter pond water and be safe to drink in a shit-it's-the-fan situation? Absolutely. That's what they're there for, okay? Maybe boil first before you add to the Berkey. You don't even have to with the Berkeys, okay? You can pour the pond water in and it'll clean out all that crap. When you're talking about boiling the water first, okay, I doubt you have a still set up, okay? Because if you boil muddy water, what are you going to have? Hot, muddy water. What you might be better doing is running it through the Berkey and then boiling it if you're worried. Okay. But the problem that you're going to get too is if you run really dirty water through it, you're going to go through filters in your Berkey really, really fast. That if you could, I mean, I'll give you a cheaper way to do it. Maybe if you want to do it this way, take your life straw and filter the water through your life straw and then put it through your Berkey. That might save you some money. And because Berkey filters are practically impossible to find, a lot of people making their own, but you had all those issues with the lawsuits on them. Dale from Ohio, I believe that even if Trump wins, we will be in for it. I'm guessing we're missing a word there. In 2025, the Dems will have plenty of landmines to sabotage the economy, get us in a war, etc. Oh yeah, Biden's already putting them into place. The more they see they're losing, the more, like you said, landmines that they're going to leave that Trump can't do anything about. Unfortunately for Joe, doing them by executive order is great because then they get the Nancy Pelosi State of the Union executive order, tear in half, tear in half, tear in half. Trump needs to just write one executive order on January 20th and says, effective immediately, everything that the Biden administration did for 4 years is null and void. And that's it. Because unless Congress passed a law, which stupid ones, Inflation Reduction Act and that sort of stuff, everything else Biden did can just be undone with a flick of a pen. And considering everything he's done has been an absolute disaster, shouldn't get a whole lot of pushback. Huts John, is it too early or is it too late to plant early girl tomatoes? Yeah, you should be harvesting your tomatoes at this point. Pretty much, you're starting going in harvest season for any variety of tomatoes you have. I mean, now if you live in southern Florida or something like that, maybe you're okay. But yeah, I mean, your tomato plants should already be full size. You're not going to try to start putting seeds in the ground. You're just not going to have the time to grow them. I mean, unless you have a very, very long summer. If I planted tomatoes now, yeah, I mean, yeah, if I'd still have to have hot weather by Thanksgiving to plant tomatoes now. And I don't have that. Joseph Cook, Trump disavowed Agenda 2025. Yeah, absolutely. Yet the Democrats keep saying, and their sheep believe them that that's the Trump platform. It is not. They are flat out lying to the people. Prep Rebel, I absolutely glow when I talk about or mention Mrs. P. Thank you. She is my better half, no doubt. Gene Blair, not one single protester at Trump's rally here tonight. Yeah, I mean, I'd say how despicable do you have to be? But if you're a liberal, that there's a long way they'll go. But good that there's no protesters out there. Maybe some people go, you know what? There's a time and a place for everything. This probably ain't a good one because chances are I'm getting arrested. Tony Greenfields, we're all watching the left hand, but what about the right? Are we going to war? I wish I had an answer. I hope not. Let's put it that way. I hope we can stave off going to war for 6 months because then we can actually have peace. Trump is already, if you saw it, Trump was talking to Zelensky already. I wouldn't doubt that Trump has got something scheduled if he hasn't already talked to Putin, trying to put an end to that one. In regards to Israel, Hamas better watch out because Trump is close with Benjamin Netanyahu. Trump may just go in there and go, we're going to turn it all to glass unless you guys back off. And we'll see what happens there. But yeah, where one, he's going to negotiate a peace. The other one, he's going to demand absolute capitulation. Member Barry, if you had an opportunity to redo your life at the beginning of your prepping, is there anything you do or prep for differently? A friend woke up within the last week and asked. From when I started. Yeah, I think little things. I wouldn't have bought so much in the way of canned food. I mean, it's in store-bought canned food. I mean, because I've got tons of it and still got it. Don't worry, I'm not worried about it going bad. And I would have come up with a better plan at the beginning. Okay. I mean, now it doesn't make a difference to me because I've been doing this so long, I've got filled in my holes. But I would have had a better plan at the beginning, doing a situational assessment and going, okay, what are the biggest risks? Obviously, food and water are going to be a requirement no matter where. But how soon do you pick up your medical? How soon do you pick up your security? How soon do you pick up your weaponry? How soon do you pick up your power, or whatever it would be? That I I would have definitely worked things in a different order instead of buying the least expensive stuff at the beginning. So I had a lot more stuff. I would have been more focused on taking care of some of the expensive stuff at the time, so I wasn't trying to play catch up, because we don't know when the SHTF event happens. And granted, you got a bunch of food and you got all your medical supplies, and you're like, hey, you know what? Next month I'm going to go buy my weaponry, or I'm going to go buy a generator. If everything comes into play tomorrow and you go, I got a shitload of medical supplies, but I've got no weapons. Unless you're opening a hospital, you're probably screwed. So, yeah, I changed my prioritization on stuff. Ham Fox, that's good. If it's Kamala and Hillary, would they call it the Cackles and Cankles ticket? Yeah. Tom S., how many people will get Clinton to hide all the backdoor dealings? Yeah, I mean, what is it? 59 people dead or something like that? Unbelievable. Otessa, do I live in a rural area or I'm assuming that means suburban city? No, I'm definitely in a rural area. Okay. The nearest gas station is 20 minutes from me. The nearest store of any sort is half an hour away. Yeah, no, there's no suburbs around here. Dale says he knows 2 people that got COVID this summer. Okay. Huffy says the sheep believe MSNBC only and won't listen to reality even if you show them proof. Oh, I know. I saw a story today that 1 out of 3 people, 1 out of 3 Democrats believe Trump staged his assassination. And even when presented with the comment of Fire Chief Corey Competiore died, they're like, well, Trump staged that too. He doesn't care if his supporters die. I mean, this is how unhinged and idiotic these people are. You know, oh, it wasn't really Trump's ear that was bleeding. He had a blood pack in his hand just to make it look like it. I mean, the funny part is the conspiracy theories that we come up with, the conservative side, have a tendency to pan out to be true. The conspiracy theories that the left comes up with are so far out in left field. It's like, go write a movie script. Make sure you call it a sitcom, though. Okay. Leslie Enoch, did I see the loophole they may try to exploit? Run Joe. Okay, this is the biggest crock of shit, bullshit loophole. There, Barack Obama, 100% is not eligible to be president or vice president. Period. There is no loophole that you can get around. Okay, no, it cannot be done. It is against the law. So all these people, I'm a lawyer and I know this. Sure, Michael Avenatti was a lawyer too. Okay, I don't care. No, sorry, Barry can't be on the ticket legally. Buzzard, hey brother, thanks for all your fair and balanced reporting. Well, it's fair. I wouldn't say it's balanced because it's not like I'm going, hey, look, Joe did a great thing today, because I can't find any of those. During difficult times, unlike the others to claim to do so. I try to be factual. Yes, you guys know what side of the fence I'm sitting on, okay? There's also been few and far between times where the Democrats have done something positive, and I've mentioned it as that. But I will tell you this, if Trump wins the election and Trump starts doing stupid shit, or the Republicans do stupid shit, like Mike Johnson's an idiot, okay, I'll call them out. I don't care, right? I'm loyal to this country, not a man, not a party, not anything else. You do what's right for this country, I'll support you. You try reaming us with a hot rod, and I will mention it. Motimer, my favorite quote from Hillary: I have a million ideas for America. America just can't afford them all. No kidding. America can't afford you. Yeah, she's got a million ideas. It's like, okay, how can I steal the money from them? Well, let's see. We did Haiti, but I've run out of that money. Okay, now I'm going to do the Ukraine thing. Oh, shit. Joe did that one. You know, how can I enrich myself? Gee, is there any other furniture at the White House I can steal? Maybe, another set of flatware or something? Yeah. Hillary is all about Hillary and nothing about us. Jean Blair, was the opera singer's selection a warning to Trump's adversaries? Yeah, I saw that story too. I don't know what the aria was called, but yeah, that was a very possibly a tip of the hat saying that all those traitors plan on getting executed. And all the things that we heard about through the convention, how much Trump loves music and all this, he picked every one of those songs, and every one of those songs had a meaning to him. That's probably what the meaning was to those. Now to see people picked up on it, he's going, okay, now you get it. He's very, very good at sliding something in and letting you figure it out. Mississippi Soldier 369, what you got in the garden still? Too early to plant my fall crops, but I still have my corn, my bell peppers, my black beans, my banana peppers, my white beans, cherry tomatoes, regular tomatoes, cucumbers, and lunchbox peppers are still in the garden. Susan Musser, I don't think Kamala would have Clinton as VP, too hazardous to her health. Oh, yeah. But they need something, and, Gavin Newsom's not going to bring voters. Okay. Gretchen Whitmer's not going to bring voters. I very seriously doubt you see the two of them the ticket. And I mean, I still stand by what I said. These people aren't going to commit political suicide because once you run and lose, you're done. Okay. Your career is pretty much over. Hillary doesn't have a career going forward. Kamala Harris doesn't have a career going forward. Okay. We're the ticket of the all-woman ticket they might be able to play. Other ones are, Josh Shapiro supposedly is already saying he doesn't want anything to do with this. So, yeah. They don't have a bench. This is the problem. Nobody wants the job. And the few that do want the job, nobody wants them. We just shot to the bottom. Okay. Lee Derby, I have a groundhog that climbs over 4 chicken wire into the garden. How do I stop it? I live in a city. The only thing I'm going to throw this out there, and whether it works or not, I'm not going to say. Hang a pie pan, a silver pie pan, or an old CD or something in the garden. Put it on a string, so let it spin around, stuff like that. That's the only, and again, if it's groundhogs, you're probably coming in at night, so that's not going to make a lick of difference. I don't know. I mean, I don't have the problems. It's not like you can go shoot the damn thing. You live in a city. I'm not going to suggest putting poison out there, but I mean, that would be an option if you want to do that, but I don't have an answer for that one. Can't believe it's climbing the chicken wire. Sojourner, harvesting mad amounts of peppers, tomatoes, and cucumbers today. Almost like they are putting something in the air. Yeah, we've picked our first couple of tomatoes. Don't have any cucumbers yet. The peppers are starting to come on. Banana peppers we've been picking for maybe a month. They're not much. I've just got 8 plants this year. That's it. So not anything big, but it's the lunchbox peppers and the bell peppers, and they're starting to put fruit on. So that's good. Meemaw Prepper just picked up beef tallow from a local farm. Suggestions for the best ways to use it. I wouldn't be using it right now. I'd be saving it and storing it because you're going to need that in an SHDF event, as some sort of grease to cook in. Brody, is it too late to start strawberries for next year? Absolutely not. Get them in the ground and let them get the chance to get some roots in so they can get some runners. Maybe with a little luck, you can get some other plants to pop up and build up some more. No, I'd absolutely get them in now. Andy Bashir on the short list for Harris's VP. Fine, go ahead. It's not like you're going to flip Kentucky, so I'm not worried about that. Andy Bashir's a putz anyway. Terry Moorhead, there was an I Spy episode years ago about machines changing votes. Well, yeah, I mean, there's real life history too in 2000 and 2020 about it happening too. So there's video of it happening in 2020. Tug Hill, I just had someone put a Biden flyer in my door. Hey, cool. Save it in your kindling fire. Thanks, dude. I needed some more to start the fireplace this year. Appreciate you paying for it, not me. Bluegrass is cool. Hey, Mr. P, did you dilute the peppermint oil with water? Like I said, I bought the premixed spray. Like I said, it was about $8 on Amazon. So, but I know some people have, essential oils, peppermint oil. I'd assume you're going to dilute that. I don't know what the ratios are or anything like that. Like I said, I just bought the $8 bottle of peppermint oil. It sits in a garage. I go out and spray the car every once in a while. Laura Story, do you or Mrs. P do stem cuttings to propagate plants you want to multiply? Yeah, sometimes I've propagated some blueberries doing that. What else have we propagated? Some of the flowers that we have in the backyard. I'm not one to try to save my pepper plants over the winter or anything like that. No, I don't do that. But some of our flowers and stuff, yeah, we have propagated to get more to spread them around in the yard. Yes. It's always easiest if you get some root hormone and put that on there. That just makes that stuff, again, is not that expensive. Get it on Amazon. But if you're going to try to propagate plants, put the root hormone on there. It just makes life so much easier. Your success rate is so much higher. Sojourner, NorCal loves you and Mrs. P. Drive on, brothers and sisters. Hey, we're trying. Thank you. We love you back. Mima the Great, why wouldn't Biden endorse Harris? She's been his VP. Oh, you're saying the same thing I did. But remember, he doesn't like her, okay? He was forced to pick her. He had to pick a black female vice president. It's not like you had a whole lot of good choices. Hey, Maxine Waters would have been great, right? Cori Bush? I mean, come on. God's prepared warrior. How do I secure my animals from predators? My dogs stay in the house, so I don't have any issues with them. If the dogs are outside, I'm outside. New and old survival. How long will well water be potable if the balloon goes up? Too many. Filter pond water through a coffee filter first, then boil and filter through a Berkey. That's a good idea right there too, because that'll get rid of all the solids out of there and at least get some of the clay and the mud out. And on this note, that makes 10 o'clock, and that would be the end. So have a good evening, guys. We'll see you in the morning. Pinball out.